Okay, first, how does the island get electricity?
Well, we purchase it wholesale from Wisconsin Public Service, so it's part of the entire grid. So everything that we get is whatever is generated as part of the grid in what's called the Midwest Independent System Operating. And actually, it's now changed to the Mid-Continental System, Independent System Operators, because it includes part of Canada. So there's Manitoba Hydro, which is hydroelectric power. There's coal plants in western Wisconsin. There's natural gas facilities in southern Wisconsin and southeastern Wisconsin. And there's a nuclear plant in not in Kewaunee, but in Manitowoc. The Kewaunee plant was closed. And if you've driven down Highway 41, you've probably seen the great big natural gas facility that's right south of, just in Kaukauna, just south of Green Bay. So we are a conglomeration of the entire grid. So the wind generation in Fox Point is all part of that. The solar fields, other places, it's all interconnected.
Okay. How does the tourism growth impact the electricity use on the island?
It doesn't really impact us that much because we've got kind of a fixed base because of the homes and the businesses here. So the restaurants are cooking food, the homes are occupied. It really doesn't affect it. In fact, our peaks are actually in the winter months when there's electric heat.
Okay. What is the difference in electricity use today compared to 20 or 30 years ago?
Significantly higher. To give you a number, I would be pretty difficult to do that without going back and taking a look. But if you're interested, we can do a tour of the old generating plant. The first generator that was on the island was 100 kW, and our average daily load now is 1,500 kW. So going back to 1945, that little plant covered all the needs. Not everybody was connected to it, but covered all the needs that we had. And now it's about 1,500. But our peaks are about 2,400 kW.
Okay. How does electricity use change from summer to winter?
It really doesn't change other than the fact that there's more electric heat that's used in the wintertime. It's used to heat your water, it's used to cook your food, it's used to turn your lights on, it's used to pump your water, and that doesn't matter what time of year it is.
How did the recent tornado affect electricity use on the island?
Well, it decreased it because lines were down.
How has the co-op expanded and developed since its founding in the 40s?
So the cooperative the first connected customer was the high school, which is now the Art and Nature Center. And that was in December of 1945. Like I said, 100 kW machine covered it for about a year. Then they added another 2 machines, and we can walk through the engine room if you guys want to see that. And then they added a third machine. So from 45 to 68, it ranged from 100 kW all the way up to 570 kW total generating capacity. And then in 1968, there was a 500 kW machine added, so that made us 1,070 kW. And then in 1972, there was 1,000 kW, well, 900 kW, but another, so about 2,000 kW. And then in 1981, then we laid the cable, which that ended up taking all of that load off of those generators, and it all went onto the grid as we just talked about.
Yeah. How do you think the fiber optics will change the economy on the island?
I think it'll change the economy, and not significantly, but because there are now families that have moved here because they can work from home. People will stay in their seasonal homes longer. Now, it also makes it more desirable for the weekly renters too, because, I mean, you want to go on vacation and spend all your time on your telephone, right?
Obviously. How will the electric co-op expand in the future?
I don't see a huge expansion once the fiber is done. I mean, we'll just, if we have to do more, we're limited by the size of the cable. So you'd have to end up putting more capacity in the cable. We should be pretty stable as far as size. I mean, you've only got about probably another 200 lots or so that are really buildable on the island. I don't expect that you'll see another 200 homes for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's all I have, so thank you.
Okay.